Hey, this is Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter in Rapid City, South Dakota, and today we're going to tie a flashback pheasant tail, another variation of the very popular nymph. We're going to start by slowly crossing our thread and overlapping it up here at the front of the hook, right behind the eye. Trim off our tag. I'm using a traditional nymph hook, standard nymph hook. Going to wrap our thread back to the bend. We'll select about 8 pheasant tail fibers from a center pheasant tail. Measure those out. We don't want them quite as long as the hook shank, just maybe slightly shorter, about 2/3. Switch hands. Tie that down with a couple of wraps at the back, too short. Make that just a little longer. There we go. Next, we'll take some copper wire. We'll lift up those pheasant tail fibers. Pull that copper wire so it doesn't leave a long tag at the front of the hook. Wrap up the hook shank about 2/3 of the way to the eye. That copper wire rest in the back there for the time being. We'll take those pheasant tail fibers, wrap forward, when we get to our thread, we'll pull the pheasant tail fibers forward with our right thumb and forefinger while we drop the bobbin over a couple times with our left hand. Then once we've done that, we can switch back to our right hand to wrap a couple more tight wraps. We'll trim off the pheasant tail fibers, excess. And now we'll finish the abdomen by counter wrapping with 5 wraps of copper wire. Get to the front there again. We're going to hold the wire forward with our right hand while our left hand drops over a couple of times to catch the wire and secure it. Now we're ready for our flashback. Okay, now we're going to take a piece of mylar tinsel, pearl mylar tinsel, tie that in so it faces back so we can pull that over the back of the fly for a wing case. Next, we're going to form our thorax with peacock herl. We need 3 strands of peacock herl for a fly this size. This is a size 12. Get away with fewer strands the smaller the fly. Tie those in. A couple good wraps, or more depending on how fat you like the thorax of your fly. Trim off the excess. Now we'll create some legs. Take about 4 strands from my pheasant tail. Tie those on the far side of the thorax with a couple of wraps so they're just longer than the thorax so they stick out a ways. Trim off the excess. Grab an additional 4 fibers. Those will form our legs on the near side of the hook. Grab those, make sure they're tied in the same length as the other side. Alright, now we can continue on pulling our pearl mylar tinsel over the back of the fly. Tie that down. for your flashback. Oops. Give that a second try there. There we go. Fold that up and we'll trim off our excess flashback material. Now we can finish the fly. I'll put in a half hitch, then I'll do a simple 3-turn whip finish. Once that's done, we can trim off our thread. You can see that flashback on the back. Now we'll finish the fly with a little bit of head cement on the head of the fly. And I also like to take a little bit of this, let it soak into the pheasant tail fibers on the abdomen. Just reinforces those pheasant tail fibers on the abdomen. And there we have a flashback pheasant tail. Again, I'm Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter in Rapid City, South Dakota. Look for this video and others at our website, flyfishsd.com. You can also purchase the materials to tie these flies at flyfishsd.com. Thanks for watching.